Hello everyone and welcome to White Jasmine Kitchen today. So today I have two recipes to show you, and I think that you will be ecstatic because both of these recipes you can make them in just within like 20 minutes. And how good is that? So, and very healthy as well. So today I have some salmon that I wanted to make, and this is our Sajji salmon that is family favorite. I've made it on, for bigger gatherings. I've made it for dinner almost once a week because we just love it, and it's just so healthy for you too. And then I have some fresh asparagus that goes on the side, and we'll just saute it quickly with some whole cumin and some salt, and that's all I'm going to add, and some olive oil. So very, very easy, very simple, but just delicious. And you know how much we love those recipes that are just easy, simple, and delicious and healthy. So all of those boxes are checked. So before I start this salmon, you can see there are two big, kind of pieces of salmon. And what I want to do is add a little bit of olive oil in this bowl. Again, you will see it, how simple it is. And once you make it, you're going to be hooked on it, for sure. And then just add a little bit of salt. And this is kosher salt to our fish. And sometimes I've made the whole fish and it has just been delightful. Not had anybody complain about it. And then in this bowl with the olive oil, I'm just going to add a little bit of our Sajji Masala. And this is more like a chipotle barbecue blend. So it has chipotle peppers, Mexican oregano, and some other spices as well, some garlic. So just add maybe a spoon and a half, and a bit of garlic, always the good stuff. I'm going to add a couple of big heaping teaspoons of garlic. You know how much I love that. And also it just adds so much flavor to anything that you make. You just kind of mix it around. This is what it looks like. I'll show you in a minute. And sometimes it's just easy when we are busy. Make something healthy, make something good and quick. And what you want to do is bake it at 425 degrees. And for maybe these two pieces will take no more than 10 to 12 minutes. And then you just kind of put that on top of your salmon. Look how wonderful that looks. The color, the spices, and anybody can make this. It's just as simple. And that's what I like, to create these simple recipes that you don't feel daunted like, okay, now I have to get 20 different spices. And that was one of the reasons we started doing our blends, because I don't see, I grew up with spices, so it's easier for me to distinguish between how they taste and what the flavor is going to be like. So we thought, well, for example, our Sajji Masala has 7 different spices in it. Our Tandoori Masala has 13 different spices. So many different layers of flavor that you can taste just by adding a couple of teaspoons. You don't have to go out and search for the 13 spices or the 7 spices. It's all kind of mixed in for you. You just take a couple of teaspoons and throw them in there. Let us do all the work. So this is all, and this is going to go in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes at 425. So I have it ready to show you. I made it earlier, just about 15 minutes ago. And this is what it looks like. You can see how this kind of forks out. Look how white. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for everything to turn this color. And what we'll do is we'll make some asparagus to go on the side for it. So you will have a full meal today. Isn't that exciting? And I'm just going to move this here. And let's work on our asparagus. And you can use other vegetables too. We just love asparagus, the combination of asparagus and our salmon, because both of those things are just so healthy. They go well. And for me, I like something green on my plate. And I just love salads or any kind of vegetables. It's just so good. Adds such a flavor to it. And again, you want to warm up your pan before adding anything. So I'm just going to wait like a second or two. And now you can add your olive oil. And let it warm up as well. Again, it takes just a couple of minutes, you know, it's not going to take very long. So these couple of recipes have been very popular in our household, and I love it because they're easy, they're so delicious. And then we want to add some whole cumin, and these are whole cumin seeds. So just throw that in there. What it will do, it will just add a lot of flavor to your oil. So a lot of dishes that you will see coming up that I like to cook is you warm up the olive oil or any oil and then add some whole spices. So this time it's going to be whole cumin. And as it starts to sizzle, we'll add our, our asparagus. In other dishes, for example, we'll make some rice or couscous or something. I like to add like whole cloves or whole green cardamoms or cinnamon stick. And what they do is they just continue to, kind of flavor your oil. And as you add all the other things, it starts to become the layering of the flavor that we always talk about. So now this is getting warm and all the, the seeds are kind of starting to go a little crazy. So let's add our asparagus. Do you hear that sizzle? It's always a good thing. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt. And sometimes if I'm in the mood to make it a little bit spicier, I'll add some red chili powder, which you can do easily. And I will say one thing, I'm not a big fan of like paprika or cayenne because that's a mixture of chili powders. I like to use just one kind of chili powder, if you can find it. So we like to use the guajillo chilies are not so hot. But if you want to use the hotter one, is giargo. And that's just one kind of chili. You will notice the difference between using the paprika or cayenne or just one kind of chili powder. Now with what you're looking for to make sure that this turns out well is that it has to be a little crisp. We don't want our vegetables to really turn into, something mushy. I mean, who likes that? Babies have to eat that because they can't say anything and they don't have teeth, but we don't have to do that. So you just kind of lightly saute it. It's at 375 degrees right now. And you want to keep that heat sort of medium high and just saute it. And look how the color stays green, the asparagus stays a little crisp, and that's what you want. I love the color in my food, flavor, color, all these things. The food has to look pretty. And I think we can all agree on that. So here is my salmon, and let's put this together. And this is what the plate will look like. More. So this is what your dinner will look like tonight. Take a look at that. How healthy, how beautiful that looks. And look at the asparagus. It looks firm and green and just wonderful. I hope you get a chance to try these recipes at home. And if you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, check out our website, whitejasmine.com. And I'll see you next week.